Do you think there is a need for more dams within our region? Do you think that is a possible solution, or is that sort of one of those pipe dreams that everyone talks about but may not really deliver the outcomes the region needs in terms of water?
It's a popular catch cry, let's build another dam. But the realism behind it is that the region we're in is very flat. Yeah. There's a couple of options, but looking into those options has really indicated that they're probably not viable, because the water that you would lose transitioning the water into that area and then getting the water back out would be enormous. Yeah. And that's great if you've got 100% water and it's spilling at the moment, but if you don't have that water, utilising that dam would actually reduce the water that we have available. We definitely need to look at more dams or using water that we have more effectively. There's absolutely no risk, but the people that run around saying more dams don't really have an answer. They just know that it's a good catch cry.
YRV Live on Thursday interviewed Dino Zappacosta, and he had a different view to Doug. He indicated that dams were the solution for our community, and he was very adamant that those who weren't looking at dams were, in his words, missing an opportunity to protect our community in the next. Now, some critics of the, more dams in Griffith say that it's too flat out here, that feasibility studies in the past have indicated that it would actually be a net loss of water if we had dams in times of drought. How do you respond to those critics who say that dams are just a slogan and not a practical solution?
It's a good question. The dams should be built in a high altitude area, such as down in the snowy region, where evaporation is not as great because it doesn't get as hot. We did look at Mount Coolah in the vicinity of Leeton and Randra area. That lake would hold up to 500,000 megalitres. Now, the issue with that is that we had to pump the water to Lake Coolah and then from there release it slowly to the MIA area. The advantage of having Lake Coolah was that we could fill it up, for example at the moment the rivers are full, we could have that full and release that water slowly as the farmers required it. It does have the disadvantage whereby, because it's so spread out, evaporation is an issue. However, most of the water which we were contemplating on using that lake would be used early in the season before the hot summers came in. So you'd use the Lake Coolah water early in the season, and when the summer season comes in you'd use the water from the Burrinjak, which is up in the mountains, and the evaporation is not as great. So look, there's a lot of pros and cons to any water structures. It's a matter of working through them and educating people how to best use these structures.